What up? I had to come on here, bro. Y'all see my hair, my neck? Man, I don't know what's going on no more, man. Now I got people like, yo, I did this little, all I did was like, I put this song out called This Is How We. And so, like, I guess they had, like, everybody, they shot this video and all that representing Harrisburg, PA, all that. You feel me? So, Um, like I guess I don't know what this next thing this people inboxing me. You ain't real. I'm thinking to myself like, what? Like you feel me? Like yo, like what is going on with like yo, like I just don't even want to be in Harrisburg, PA no more. Like I am tired of hearing about rumors. I am tired of hearing about people talk that I don't even know. I don't even know these people. Like for real, like random people will come and play superhero or whatever, high on whatever. I don't even know if they high, man. I just know like the paranoia thing though. Like Harrisburg, PA is the only city where like 10 dudes sit in a room together and just start arguing about who's snitching on each other. And it's like that's all people here talk about is you snitch. Yo, I hear snitch. Yo, snitch is like the most common word here. Yo, I be looking like it's not even no port here for anybody to be like because if y'all all getting what y'all get from the same people, it's pretty common sense. Who told on you? Like ain't like no boat came through here and delivered something. But they be like arguing, like you snitching, you snitching, and you be sitting there looking like I can't even take it no more, yo. Like yo, like people be coming up on me, man, and they be talking about they be talking about like I'm fake, like why does everybody keep running up on me talking about you ain't no drug dealer, you acting like you put in work. I didn't never say I was a drug dealer. Why would I say that? Who who dealing drugs would tell somebody I sell drugs? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, where does that come from? Like, what do people in Harrisburg, PA think about when they use that? Like, it's like, what are you talking about, yo? And so, like, they be sitting there arguing, talking about, oh, it's such snitches, snitches. He was in there like, ain't nobody snitching. If y'all just shut the up, y'all realize ain't nobody really telling. Y'all just keep talking about stuff that ain't really happening. Like, you know what I mean? Like, people here, yo, I swear, yo, like, I don't know what's wrong with people here. Like, people be acting like I'm weird. They be like, what you be talking about? Like, when I'm on Facebook, how you gonna call me a snitch? But then you wanna know who I'm talking about. You want me to identify on Facebook a social network monitored by all types of people in our country, a place where there's order. So there are laws on Facebook. You want me to identify somebody I'm looking at when sharing my mind, but you're calling people a snitch. What is wrong with this? Like, what, like, something just, like, I'm like, what's one plus one? And it's two, right? And so, like, I don't know what people here, like, think about. I really don't know. Like, man, I was hanging with like some people, some high rollers in Harrisburg, high rollers. The guys with the money, the high rollers and stuff. And so everybody like, I start noticing after a while, people I was around, they wasn't fooling with me like that. But, like people would take trips to clubs and they would go here in different cities and do it big and they would leave me here and they'd be like, no, we ain't got no room for you. Maybe next time and stuff. So I'm thinking to myself, oh, maybe they just embarrassed. me be around them. You feel me? Cause I mean, what else could it be? I mean, you ain't living that much better than I'm living, but I guess maybe you just embarrassed about something. So like, what I want like lately, I've been chilling with like you got the hill, you got South Allison Hill is how I say it. That's like the whole southern part of Harrisburg. You could Wikipedia it. It's everything. People don't like to be affiliated in all the areas in South Allison Hill. That's because the government owns one area and the other area is owned by middle class people who own their own stuff. So, you know, sometimes the ones over there where it's government property, it's not self owned property like over in some areas. So some people want to feel realer than others, and the politics and all that is. But like and then you got Allison Hill was like the center. And then you got Uptown, and there's like little hoods, little different areas. But like lately, I've been kicking it like with a lot of people uptown because it's a lot of real people uptown. They bout money, they stay to themselves, they get money. It's a little crime here and there that goes on. People do whatever, but for the most part, most of them real. Like when I go out downtown, I left out downtown. I can't forget downtown. But most of them real. You feel me? So when you go downtown, they the ones. They. I mean, you see the skin color. I don't like to play the race thing, but we welcome all races in Harrisburg, PA. But they the ones. They the high rollers. They the ones spending the money on the big bottles and all that in the club and all this and that. So like I was chilling. Like I talked to a lot of females outside of the city of Harrisburg, PA. Just for one, based on the demographics, this is a very small city. It's very small, so it's surrounded by nicer areas, and usually, I mean, honestly, the girls from the surrounding areas they just take care of themselves. They the ones who go to the doctors, get checkups, because they parents, usually got them on their health plan, or even if they just working jobs, they usually the ones who keep their nails done, keep their hair did. They dress nice. They wear the hottest fashions and stuff like that. So, and I'm in the fashion heavy. I do music. They just want to have fun. So, they be the ones popping bottles in the club. They be popping more bottles than dudes in the city of Harrisburg. Yeah. So it'd be like I like kicking it with them, and it'd be like just dudes in the city though, just like. And it's always like I always end up around some weird dude like who just got a whole bunch of lies. Like, and so like I'm kicking it with my folks uptown, all this and that. You know what I mean? And it's like we are chilling, so I'm trying to welcome in the people I know, cause I'm from South Allison Hill, so I'm trying to welcome them in to my folks uptown. And so like they don't be looking like when my folk where I'm from, some of them be like coming around, they be looking kind of skeptical, like, and they be making weird faces, whispering to each other and stuff. I'm saying like, you got a problem with them or something? Cause I ain't no type of dude to let two people. If it's money to be made in this business in Harrisburg, PA, then we gonna get money, and it is what it is. You feel me? But if if somebody got a problem with this person, I'm not gonna sit there and play sides. Then I'm gonna be like, well, maybe I don't need to be around you and you at the same time. So, and they respect that. That's like my folk uptown. They respect that. Like they real. I mean, they like we in the like I be looking at houses and stuff. Like I don't even be. Some of these people, man. Some of these people go to places, have no idea who owns them, and just like blend in. Like yeah, I run this. Dude, you don't even have a job, mom, dude. Like you feel me? Like it's crazy how people do that, and like it chases business away from big people. Like in my song Street Dreams, I made Street Dreams anthem. I shouted out Ray Davis because he's a real estate agent, but if you go anywhere in this city, I mean, even on the outskirts, you're going to see his name because he's building like on Field of Dreams when they was like, if you build it, they come. He's building this city, even with all the negative. With CNBC, talking about we bankrupt with the crazy stuff they doing in politics and all that. he's still building this city and he's still marketing this city, for the finer things this city's worth, opposed to like other stuff. And so like it just got to a point where I would be around these people and I would be trying to introduce the people from the hood I'm from. I'm from the ghetto, so I live in a little suburban area. It ain't totally suburban, but you feel me? I'm from the ghetto, so a lot of people come to my neighborhood because they know my neighbors, because it's not that far from the ghetto. But there's a lot of people inside these like neighborhoods and stuff, more in inner city, that know some of my neighbors and stuff. So they come around, they know where I live, they know what I drive, they see my life. I ain't really, you know, but it's just getting wild because basically back to the story. So like when I'm trying to introduce them, because I'm trying to make new business, because I'm looking at our area, I'm like, man, we need some new business. We need to just get on some real legit, pay these taxes, get this money. We ain't got to worry about no cops, because can't no cop get mad at you. You pay taxes, you paying for them to go to work. So you know, but I guess my folks from up in these areas that were on the same path as I, to build more business, it's coming out. Like a lot of dudes around me I grew up around are in like court cases and stuff. Well, they don't tell me this stuff when like when we out and we partying. They don't never mention, hey, I had court today. Let me sit down. You what? Like you got court. You know what I mean? Like, what did you do to go to court? You know, you never gonna tell anybody? Like, you feel me? You can't be out in public. Like, people will cover that up and they will just hide it like it's something to be ashamed of. We all go to court. People get little things. You hire a lawyer, and you get your stuff. You fight your stuff. You get the money up. You get the lawyer, and when your stuff clean, you get a clean slate, and it's a learning lesson in life to never do it again. And so when some of my people around me, they call and they always so quick to say somebody snitching. You be looking like, you did get a lawyer, didn't you? Like, have you ever heard Gilly the Kid, the song Gangster, when he was like, how you out? He was like, man, I paid my lawyer. He was like, he was talking about he had all this money. He was like, yeah, y'all did pay a lawyer, right? Because I'm taking for granted, y'all legit as me. So we chilling, right? You coming around me, but I'm saying I'm really doing so. I don't know what you talking about with the. You feel me? And the crazy thing in Harrisburg, VA, it be the cops. It's mainly detectives. A lot of people don't really understand. The detectives are the reason when people go to court and things happen. They're the ones who investigate. It's not the cops. The cops are the ones. The cops are basically like the detective security guards. I ain't disrespecting no cop, but they're the case the detective need backup. They ain't nobody. You can't say F the police because the police ain't do nothing. They just like if you call the cop and they respond, they calling it what someone called them for. They don't know what happened. They didn't see it, so it's like what's going on. And what was happening is people was fighting, like people uptown and stuff and all that. It's like it's restarting. It was just like bro, cuz silly rival back in the day, and it got over because everybody started getting money. Everybody just started getting tired of that, and so it's like now you got people who grew up where I'm from, and they're talking about people snitching, and all paranoid and stuff. You see that? We have lawyers for that. What do you mean? Like what do you mean? People up there, they have lawyers for that. Some of them. What are you saying? They're fighting each other and stuff like that. Like, so I don't know right now. I don't know what's going on with Harrisburg. Yeah, I just need my hair cut. If I don't get my hair cut, I'm gonna grow dreads, my dude. Because I don't know no rumors. I don't know nothing. I got credit cards. I pay taxes, whatever, and I am the last person. Like I'm too bougie. The front, I sell drugs. I'm too cheap. I tell you straight up. I don't sell drugs, and you ain't taking my car or nothing else in my pocket. Cause I am too cheap. Yeah, I use coupons when I shop. So check me out. Yeah.